what would you say are the main advantages and disadvantages of being a social impact company?
You are super proud of this and you're like, well, I'm an impact company and nobody knows about it. Nobody knows what it is. So sometimes it's a little bit frustrating. What I think is a superpower becomes not as super, but still a power as I imagine.
Welcome, everyone, to the Inside Story podcast, where we take you behind the scenes of building diverse businesses and becoming a successful entrepreneur. I'm your host, Dursun Halimova, a business coach and facilitator on a mission to help build impactful businesses. And speaking of impact, I'm super excited today to welcome my guest, Virginie Ducommun, who is a passionate advocate for sustainable and healthy workplaces. She helps companies integrate smart technologies into their buildings to save energy as well as improve air quality. She does this through her company Indoor Forest, which is an impact company and an exclusive distributor of BioOrg ecosystem here in Luxembourg. Virginie, it's great to have you on the Inside Story podcast. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Great. To start off, I would like to read several unfinished sentences, and I would ask you to finish them for us, please. First one, being an entrepreneur means.
Wow, that starts hard. Means passion and purpose and impact.
Great. Building an impactful business requires
Vision.
Failure is
Helpful.
Success is a result of
A lot of hard work, a few failures, and support from communities and families.
Mhm. And the last one, being fulfilled in life means.
Oh, wow. That's a good one. Fulfilled in life means being able to smile at yourself every morning and say, wow, I'm good.
Great.
That's fulfilling to me.
This means I am very fulfilled.
But we all are. Some people just forget they are. But most people are already fulfilled.
Yeah, this is a practice I picked up like years ago, where every morning I wake up and look at the mirror and then I just say, "Good morning, beautiful." Very nice way to start your day. All right, Virginie, if you don't mind, tell us briefly about you as well as Indoor Forest. What problem do you solve and for who?
Me, it's very easy. It's going to be quick. I'm 48. I'm French. I did my studies in the United States 20 years ago. Studied in marketing and been working in marketing since then. And I have a husband and two kids and a fulfilled life, let's say. So that's my base. And then Indoor Forest is my first baby. It's an impact company, and I love it because it brings a little bit more purpose and impact to whatever I do. That's why I started that in 2021. And basically, what I do is I bring in technological innovation, mostly in building, so that they get more energy efficient, they get more comfortable for the people working in them, and more intelligent, that we can pilot them and just do things with. Even old buildings can become intelligent. So that's kind of magic that I really like. When it's magic, you kind of like it. And then I also like when buildings are healthy, because there is such a thing as a sick building phenomena, where the air quality is not good enough, or the materials are not good for your health. And then I found this great biotech that naturally removes all harmful particles, dust, and bad smells in the buildings naturally, just like in the forest. So that's why the name Indoor Forest, because it's like a forest, and that's how it all started.
Amazing. If I'm not mistaken, you work with different institutions, and one of which was a school where you help them reduce their energy consumption by 70% or so?
Yeah. That was a project we did in Belgium. It was a small school with like 5 or 6 classes, and they had issues with the building, and so they saved 70% energy the first year, And the children all said, well, it's much better now because it's never cold anymore. Because basically what we did is that we set up the times where the school had to be used. And so we piloted all the AC, the heaters and everything, the lights and all that jazz, so that 1 hour before and 1 hour after, it turns off and it turns on. And so on the weekend, nothing's happened. In the night, nothing happened. And you save a lot of energy. That's what I call turning a regular building into a smart building.
Indeed, that's so great because then you save so much energy. It's not just talking about the money that you save, right? But also energy, which you would otherwise, I guess, waste. And also, no student wants to enter a room that is cold. This way, the rooms are already preheated based on the temperature. This is so great.
That's key. You see, for climate change, you have to be sober, what they call sobriety and things like that. And it's boring and it's scary because it's a change. But when you do it smart, it becomes comfortable, enjoyable, and you save a lot more. It's just a question how you do it. Magic,
Yeah.
telling you.
You call yourself a magician, don't you?
Yes, because it's a great icebreaker. Because what I do is a little bit complicated to explain in 1 or 2 words, or even in a small sentence, sometimes. So I just thought like that. And I said that I'm a magician. Then they all think I do tricks. And I actually do scientific tricks. It's nice. But yeah, I like to be a magician. I want to change the world. So I want to be a magician.
I think you are doing a great job so far. Like even small scale initiatives like this matter so much because if every business was thinking in terms of saving, wasting less, be it energy, be it materials or money or other resources, I think we would accomplish much more in terms of our sustainability goals.
That, and you also solve problems a different way. To give you another example, I'm working now on a restaurant, and it's located in a building that was industrial before. So there is a lot of bad metallic smell that's inside the walls. And now we're doing a pilot, and we're trying, and we did that just this week. So I'm waiting on the results. But even when we were not yet finished, some people that come to that building often told me, "Wow, it's already so much better." So that's why I do my job. That's my purpose. These people have a smell problem, then I remove it and I don't use any chemicals. So I don't harm the planet while I help the people.
Amazing. Yeah. And it's great that you can see and people can see, feel, smell or not smell, right? Immediately. Yeah. And tell us a little bit about this social impact company. You are registered as so-called SIS, social impact company here in Luxembourg. What are the major differences between being a regular company versus being a social impact company?
The main difference is in the governance. When you are an impact company, in your statutory document, you have a section where you state your impact and how you're going to measure them. That's one major difference with a regular company. We also have a limit on salaries. For example, in an impact company, you're supposed to put all your profits into growing the company and do more impactful business. So no dividends are given. You cannot give dividends. Your salaries are capped to 6 times the minimum salary, which is still over 180,000 euros a year. So let's just say we're not going to walk in wooden shoes tomorrow, all right? It's pretty comfortable, but it is a limit. So it's a difference with a regular company where sky is the limit. Then there is a limit saying, okay, you will live very well with this, stick with this, and invest for the rest. There is also another difference. We can receive donations because we are also of public interest, like an ASBN. So we can receive donations and things like that. So these are major differences with a regular company.
Well, listening to this, I feel like maybe most companies should be capped the salaries and the money should be reinvested in making sure the impact grows and the benefit grows. But no one is asking for my opinion on that.
Well, it's a big change. It's not going to happen overnight. And there is also the habit factor, which is your most powerful stop for change habit.
Indeed, yeah. When you are used to earning a lot of money, why would you experience a pay cut, right? And also, what would you say are the main advantages and disadvantages of being a social impact company?
Aha. Well, I'll start with the disadvantages because then that way we can stop on the positive side. The main disadvantage of this is that you're a pioneer, so little things can be a struggle because there's not that many impact companies yet in Luxembourg. So to give you a very practical example, I had to change the object of my company to add some new things because before I was only about air quality and now I'm about smart building and also smart teams, how to work efficiently together, working on that side too. So I've added some things and I sent that to the registers. And then the registers came back to me saying, oh, I need this. And then I went to the ministry and they say, they need this. And they say, no, you don't. This is good. Okay, guys, you need to talk to each other because this administration doesn't talk to this administration and I'm in the middle, which they do very well. It took only a month and a half to solve it. You also have to be patient when you're a SIA, but it does work. And so that's a disadvantage that you have to be willing to overcome. The other disadvantage is that you are super proud of this and you're like, well, I'm an impact company and nobody knows about you. Nobody knows what it is. Companies, public institutions, no one knows. So sometimes it's a little bit frustrating. And so that's a disadvantage for me because what I think is a superpower becomes not as super, but still a power as I imagine. So that's sometimes one of the hindrances. But and it comes with the advantages. And the advantages is the community because you surround yourself with people that are just like you and they won't question anymore. Why do you do this? Why would you go in there? Why? You know, they are just like you. They want to have impact and they want to do something better and more. And so that's really cool to be surrounded with people like that. You get great support because now they have way more help with the social business incubators and things like that. So that's for me is a really big advantage. And it's also a, let's say a frame. I wanted to have impact. My products have impact. I know that. But the fact that it's wrapped into the bow of my company has impact because I do the things differently to maximize it. That's good for me. It counts too as an advantage.
When I first moved to Luxembourg, when I did research about startup ecosystem, entrepreneurship, and small businesses, I did come across the social business incubator. And that's how I realized that there is also specific sector focused on the impact specifically. And we had the pleasure of meeting at one of the such events. And to your point, it is unfortunate that not a lot of people know about the existence of social impact companies. I had the privilege, actually, my first guest was also an impact company, Clean Something for Nothing.
Caesar.
Yeah, Caesar, yeah, an amazing guy, an amazing initiative. They do a lot to clean the environment. This is also one of the reasons why I really wanted to have you on the podcast to hopefully share your story and similar stories of impact that it's not only just focusing on the profit, right? You can make profit while you can also make positive impact and they can go hand in hand. And I believe that if you pursue impact and meaning, the money making part will also follow. Money will follow, I think.
Yeah, it's just a regular business. And as much as I said we don't get dividends or things like that, but we also don't pay commercial taxes. So we have more of what we get from our work reinvested. So they are also playing the game on their side. So that's why I think it's really, really cool.
And help us, Virginie, understand the landscape of social impact companies here in Luxembourg. You kind of touched upon saying that it's not very big, right? It's not very well known. If you can give us a rough idea of how many companies are there approximately and what are they mainly working on?
Today we are a little over 70 companies. 70. That's all. But it's already a lot better because when I created mine in 2021, I think I was the 40th or the 39th. So that means we've doubled in 3 years. And that's the work of the social incubator and all that. And a lot of entrepreneurs have also got the calling of doing things better and trying to look into doing things differently. So I guess that helped a lot. But it's still a tiny little bubble in a big pot of water. But it's existing and it's growing and it's good. What do they do? I think a vast majority still now, I would say 60% is still in the social version of the thing, meaning helping people find jobs, people recover from burnouts, people, gender equality, handicapped people, things like that. A lot of it is still very social. And then there are also some people that are doing just regular business and things like that, like mine, like selling products. I think we are a minority still. I would say 20% sell actually things, maybe 30 now, and all the rest is more consulting and helping people do things differently, change their current habits to have more impact and create more positive environments. So a lot of it is consulting, and we are more and more with real products and services, things we sell, physical things, which helps, by the way, because it makes us different from an ASBL, because an ASBL is a non-profit. We are for-profit. So people say, oh, but you sell things. Oh, that's interesting. It's different. And for them, it's reassuring that we're not an ASBL and we're just a regular business. And SES, it's easy if you wonder. The SIS is the cherry. It's what makes it pretty. And then you build the cake. And the company is just regular.
Yeah.
So that's it. It's just a company with a different little, let's say, magnet on top.
In our earlier conversation, we've discussed about the importance of having business model. And you have touched upon that there's also kind of confusion among general audience. If you are a nonprofit, but then you sell your services and you sell products, but you're making profit, right? So why do you think it's important for social impact companies to have a business model and to know how they can make money, basically?
Because it's the cake. If you don't have a business model, then you don't make money. And first, I am SRLS, so a limited SRL. That's what I am.
Yeah,
and
limited.
then I am a SID. But I have to make money. I'm here to survive. I'm not here to get subventions. And who is going to bring money to my business if I don't sell anything? So it's a business. Then it's an impact business. But first, it's a business. So, of course, you have to know your product market fit. What are you going to sell to whom, at what price? How are you going to make money? What's your purpose? And the layer of SIS is what are your indicators and how are you going to prove them? That's all. But it's just a business. No one would just open a business not knowing anything about it, right? Then the same for us.
Exactly. But is it common then for people who start social impact companies to think only or focus predominantly on the impact and not so much on making profit?
It's tempting because you want to be the savior, you want your impact to be maximal. But that's where it's nice to talk to people who have already done it, or to these social business incubator advisors and things like that, because they will tell you, wait. It's nice that you have impact and have the maximum impact you want, my friend. But how are you making money? I have seen some people telling me, oh, I have this great idea and I want to do this and it's going to do that. Uh-huh. Okay, it's great. And you earn money how? And they're like, oh, no, but I don't know. And they haven't thought about how they're going to eat every day.
Yeah.
So sometimes you lose sight, you have this great idea and you feel all that superpower coming up, whoa, I'm going to do so great. Yeah, you need the tools, and the tools is your company. You need to build your company. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think I must admit, I think I have a bias towards social enterprises in general, because I think it combines the best of two worlds from profit world and non-profit, right? So as a non-profit organization, you have a major cause you are promoting. And then, as you said, right, you are like any other company. So you have to make income. And I think, having also worked in the nonprofit sector, it's very tempting to pursue the cause and then forget about how you're actually going to pay for that, right? And I think that's the shortcoming, because then oftentimes you rely on external funding, on donations, on charity, and so on. Whereas a social enterprise, you can still pursue that cause, but then you have a business model that helps you generate the income, and you basically run your business or pursue your cause based on the money that you bring into the organization. So I think this is kind of a great win-win, having both, the best of the two worlds.
We are, because we are of public interest. We're not non-for-profit, we are for-profit, but we are of public interest. So that gives you, kind of the fever of saying, come on, you have to do more. And it's like sugar. The more you get, the more you want. See? I had health and I had environment impact, and now I'm working on two ways to have a social impact, because I'm like, I cannot not have that social dimension. So
Amazing.
the more you do, the more you get, but you do it as a business, and you add a business, a line, and things like that. So, but it has to be a business.
No, yeah, no, thank you. Thank you so much for underlining that. I think it's so important. And if any of our listeners listening to this conversation right now, they feel passionate to solve a social or environmental problem, and they are thinking of starting their own business, and if they consider, and I think maybe they should consider, right? At least consider starting a social impact business. How can they start? What can be like the first few steps that they can take in order to establish their social impact business?
Super. Congratulations. You have a great idea. That's awesome. Now, the first step is, what's your impact? Can you state exactly what is your impact and how you can measure it? Because that will be the first question they will ask you. And that's how the ministry will assess if they give you or not the SIS. And so you need to put that down, just like I'm addressing this market and that. But then you say, okay, I'm addressing this impact. This is how I do it. This is how I measure it. So first is the indicator. That's the first part. Then you do your business model again. Who are you selling? What are you selling? Who are your partners? What financing do you need? Because, for example, if you have an idea that requires a lot of investment, then it's going to be hard for you to have an SIS, at least at the start, because you cannot give dividends. Investors are here to make money with money. So they don't want to give you a tax deductible donation. So if it implies a lot of innovation, a lot of injection of capital, then SIS, it won't work for you. So that's why you need to do your business plan and know exactly how it's going to work, because otherwise you'll be stuck. Because for the moment, the law doesn't allow for it. Maybe it will change, maybe it will evolve. We've asked for it, that a minimum part could be given, because some of us could use some investing.
Yeah.
So that's the second part. So indicators first, then your business plan, and then you go to the social business incubator, and then you tell them, this is my project, this is what I think I would like to be doing, and they will help you with the formalizing and how to set it up, and they will tell you where could be the potential shortcomings, because they're here to advise you and to tell you if it's good or not. The House of Entrepreneurship also is able to give that kind of information, but the social business incubator is specialized, so that's why it's easier to do that. And then after that, they help you out. If you still want to carry out, they will tell you all the good things and all the bad things. There's no bad thing about impact. They will tell you everything so you can make your decision, and then they will help you write a statutory document, and then you can go to the registers, and off you go. Impact away. So it's not that hard. It's just a gymnastic.
You make it sound super easy, and yeah.
It is.
Okay. And just between us, little bird told me that they're also looking into making it easier for external investors to invest in and fund social impact businesses as well. So maybe in the very near future, this is going to be much easier to do in Luxembourg as well.
Yeah, it's been under discussion for a while now.
Yeah. And imagine one of our listeners really got pumped up, right? But they're still thinking, do I go like a regular business route? Do I go social impact business route? I just, like they are in a 50-50. What would you say that can flip it in favor of them pursuing social business impact? Why they should pursue impact company versus regular?
Do you want to make a difference? Or do you want to just do business as usual? Because we are all pioneers in our own way. We are a small minority in the economy. And so are you willing to be part of the minority that will change and that will grow later on? Because there is a tremendous potential for growth for impact economy. So I would say, look into yourself and do you have it? Is that what you really want to do? And if you're scared or if you don't want to or if that doesn't interest you, then do business as usual because business is good too. There's no devil in the regular business. It's just that you need to decide for yourself if in fact it's good.
Yeah, and I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs either through my one-on-one coaching or workshops or podcasts like this or elsewhere. I feel that a lot of people want to do something meaningful. They want to pursue purpose and they want to pursue a life of fulfillment. Yes, they want to create and build a business, but I think a lot of people are considering how I can combine the two. Yes, build a business, but also a business that actually has some positive impact. I hope that this message resonates with a lot of our listeners. And we are slowly reaching the end, but there are two other questions I would like to ask you, Virginie.
Okay.
What is your vision for social impact companies? How can we encourage more impact driven business, not only in Luxembourg, but in Europe and around the world?
I'm super ambitious on this topic because I think there's so many things we can do. But here, just at the level of Luxembourg, we could also encourage companies to have impact and be recognized for their impact, even though they don't go to the top level of governance and change their status and all that jazz. Because a lot of people are doing things and like I said, maybe they don't feel the impact calling, but they're already doing something very good and they could justify our impact. So I think we should create the little sister of the Impact Luxembourg for social impact companies for impact businesses because some exist already. It's beyond the CSR certification, the B Corp certification. Some of them already have it. Some don't want to get it because it's tedious, it's long, it's things like that. So maybe having the impact business label, which would be also something that you have to earn, of course, because I earned my certificate, so you will earn yours. Okay? But that would be nice to make it a little bigger and to infuse in the economy, like you have this big pile of boiling water and impact businesses are a little tea leaf, that will slowly turn the thing. It will be slow, it will be long. 98% of companies today cannot change to a CIS overnight because it's a long process. You have to get people on board, you have to kill habits, you have to prepare for change. It's not that easy, but it's the future. And the other thing that we should do is encourage people to use impact company solutions. Meaning you also get a label because you're an impact supporter, you see, create like an ecosystem of this impact that will bring together the CIS, the companies that do better than others and that have a clear impact in mind, even though they are not legally SIS, and the customers. So they can proudly say, hey, I work with NES, even 2, even 3. Check it out. I did this and it worked.
Yeah.
So that would be another way. And then my little tea leaves will slowly tint the water. And God knows what will happen. But
delicious.
that's my ideal. So that's what I would do.
Yeah, no, this sounds amazing, and as you pointed out, it's pretty ambitious. The way I see it happening, maybe I can think of two ways. One, on a government level, kind of on a central level, they have to create incentives for companies, existing companies that are doing great things, to reward them and make them want to announce that they are doing these social environmental impact initiatives. So create incentives for companies to maybe self-report, and also then create incentives for citizens like myself to encourage us to consume, to do business with social impact businesses, either incentives from the government or awareness raising campaign where, I don't know, somehow supporting social impact business is cool, new, sexy, right? So
It
everyone,
is. It
yeah.
is the new sexy. That you can even go beyond. You can create an impact coin. It's
Mm.
like a currency of when you buy and you trade between impact companies and people. Don't get me started. There are so many things I would love to do if I had the power to.
Oh, amazing. Okay. So looks like you have to be back on the Inside Story podcast to walk us through your vision of what is possible and how we can make it happen. But until then, I have one last question, and this question was left for you by my previous guest. They left
Okay.
this question without knowing who they're leaving it for. The question reads, what is your favorite song or piece of music that has helped you through the tough times of your entrepreneurial journey?
My happy song. It's Barry White. You know, like the Ali McBeal song in Barry White?
Yeah,
You know that one? My worst, my last, my everything. I don't sing well. Don't make me sing. It's gonna be
please
terrible.
do.
But but that's my happy song because this is a super good song and you always have the first, the last, and you have one everything in your life, no matter what it is, if it's a person, if it's a thing, if it's a moment. And when you don't feel something's going right, that's your happy place. And if I had to pick a song for that, that would be this one.
Does it make you feel happy when you listen to the song,
Makes
or
me dance.
it makes
And
you?
when you dance, it just liberates something, and it calls back a lot of good memories. And I can see the Ali McBeal, actors dancing in the bathroom. It's silly, but it's back in my memories in university when I was in USA that they were watching the show. I didn't even like the show, but that particular scene was fun,
Yeah.
and that's something for me that just makes me stand up, dance, and okay, you know what? No matter what happens, we'll see that in 2 minutes. But for the moment, let me get away.
Yeah, amazing. No, I actually don't know the song. Now you made me curious. I'm going to look it up.
If it's a song, it's this, and if it's doing something, it's going out in the green,
Mm.
trees and things like that, and you just go on, and it changes everything.
So you're not only about inside forest, but outside forest as well.
I'm from the mountain. I'm from the countryside in the mountain. I'm
Mm.
impossible without nature and
Yeah.
trees and fields. I'm
Amazing.
an outdoor girl.
Let's hope that there will be more people like you who will be promoting environmental, social causes and help us be more sustainable, the way we do business, the way we as consumers do business, right? Thank you, Virginie, so much for taking the
You're
time
welcome.
to
Thank
be
you.
on the Inside Story podcast. You have today demonstrated that, for one to pursue their business dreams, it shouldn't or doesn't have to be only about making profit, but you can also focus on making an impact, social or environmental impact, and money will follow. The most important thing is, as you said, to follow your passion and purpose and see what adds meaning to you and to your life. So thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us today.
Wisdom, I wouldn't go that high, but experience, maybe. Thank you.
Experience, which you have wealth of knowledge and experience. And if our listeners want to start a social impact business, can they reach out to you and connect?
It happens all the time, and I love hearing about all these ideas. They're all magicians in their own way. I love it. Yeah,
Great.
of course. Please do. Please do.
What a nice way to end the podcast. We're all magicians in our own ways. Thank you, Virginie.
Bye bye. Thank you so
Bye.
much.